a question came that, can you please talk to us about Hin and Bin, or some of the creations that existed before human beings were sent here on the planet Earth? So in front of me I have Siyar, which is written by Allama Ali ibn Burhanuddin Halabi. The book has been written, as I told you, hundreds of years ago. And here in this volume number 1, he mentions about some of the creations. Allama Halabi says that before the creation of Adam alayhi salam, approximately 60,000 years before the creation of Adam alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent jinns on the planet Earth, and they were spread around. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created several creations. Among his creations, one of the creation that was created and was on the planet Earth was something that was like an animal, and it was like beast, and then they were all over the planet, and eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finished them all. Now, this could point towards the creation of dinosaurs who existed before human beings. They were animals, they were beasts, they were giants, or it could pinpoint to other creations that we have not yet discovered. We don't know. And this book is not written in the last 100 or 200 years, or even 300 years. This book was written even before that, probably 400 some years ago. This book was written by Allama Halabi rahimahullah. So just to keep that in mind, that what we have learned recently doesn't reflect here, because it is not written in the recent times. Also, in the same book, it talks about some other creations which sometimes people refer to as maybe types of jinns, but these were not really types of jinns. These were some other beings like Buzz, Tom, Rum, Jus, and Bas. These were different creations. Some people categorize them as jinn, maybe because they had jinn-like qualities, so they also spread on Earth. They were sort of kind of the caretakers of Earth in their time, and then they started fighting with each other, and again, over the period of time, they either disappeared or angels came and dispersed them all over the planet. So that's one other evidence. Now I have in front of me Al-Bidaya wa Nihaya, which is written by Ibn Kathir. And in this volume number 1, where he talks about the creations of the creations before Adam alayhi salam, and he talks about jinns were created before Adam alayhi salam, and before jinns on the planet Earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the Hunun and Bunun, the Hin and the Bins. And they were spread all over the earth. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent jinn, who then removed Hunun and Bunun from the face of the earth. They were completely wiped out by the jinns, and the jinns took over and built their settlements everywhere. So anyway, we do have some accounts of some creations before Adam alayhi salam on earth. So just wanted to answer that question, and I hope it was helpful and knowledgeable for you guys. And inshallah, we will continue to talk about the story of Qqadri alayhi salam. One more question that I would like to address maybe in a day or two. I told you guys this probably maybe a couple weeks ago, as question came in, can you prove that there is an evidence of the grave punishment in Quran? And I said, yes, there are not one but several evidences of the grave punishment in the Quran. Unfortunately, these kind of questions come from those people who say that we only take things that are in Quran. Unfortunately, this is a fitna of the time too. Just remember, they're not being better Muslims or they're not being more pious. It's just like they reject hadith, unfortunately. These people call themselves Ahlul Quran, and these are totally misguided people. Then they come and they start commenting under the videos as well. And they say, okay, prove me this from the Quran, prove me that from the Quran only. So unfortunately, these are the people who do not even believe 100% in the Quran, because the Quran says that you have to take from the Prophet whatever Prophet says you got to do, what you have to do that. And anything that he stops you from doing, you got to be stopping yourself from doing it. And you will have better knowledge of that from the hadith. That's where you see the hadith al-qawli, the hadith al-fi'li, hadith al-taqriri. You will find all different variations of hadith from the hadith book, in the hadith books. And it's a special set of knowledge, and there's a special set of ulama who have spent years and years on hadith sciences and the collection of the hadith in the field of asma wal rijal and al-jarh wa ta'dil, and some of the other details like shuruhat of hadith and things of that nature. So the idea is that yes, we believe, because hadith and sahih hadith and a collection of sahih hadith, and there's so much evidences in the books of hadith that talks about the punishment of grave, and also in the Quran. But unfortunately, some people are looking specifically for the words that they have in their heads and cannot see beyond that. So inshallah, we will also point out those ayahs from the Quran which talks about the punishment of grave. And there are, as I told you, lots of ayahs about that in different surahs. And also it talks about the blessings of as soon as you leave from here. Now remember, we talked about this in the past. There is a special place called Barzakh. Barzakh is a place where after your soul leaves the body, it goes into Barzakh. And Barzakh is a place for both believers and non-believers, sinners and good people, both of them. So even among the Muslims, those who are believers but are sinners, and those who are pious, everybody's soul enters Barzakh. Now Barzakh itself has several tabaqat, stages. So not every soul stays in the same stage. Evil souls or disbelieving souls are in the punishment stages, and the sinners are in the punishment stages, and the pious souls are in the elevated higher places where they see the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while in Barzakh. And in Barzakh, your body and soul are connected with each other. The soul is not in the body, but there is a connection. That's the main difference between the world of soul, which is alam al-arwah, and alam al-barzakh. So that's the main difference. In alam al-arwah, the soul never had body yet. In this alam al-dunya, where you are born, now your soul is in the body. Now when the soul leaves the body, the soul and body have some connection established. So the connection is still there. That means if the soul witnesses good, body feels good. Even if you're looking into the grave, you're like, oh, okay, it's all ashes. But that is what you are seeing in your apparent eyes. Similarly, there are some bodies that remain intact. Even hundreds of years would pass and they will remain intact, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserves whoever body He wants to preserve. I think we have already talked about that in the past. So after the world of Barzakh, we enter the day of judgment, the resurrection day. In the resurrection day, what happens is that your soul is put back in the body, and the body is grown back. And this is one of the things that the disbelievers denied the day of judgment by saying that how is it that the body which turns to dust would be created back? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to that question by saying that, did I not created you in the first place? So when I created you in the first place, do you not think that I can recreate you? It's pretty much like if you create as a human being something once, you can recreate it, right? And He is Al-Khaliq. He is Al-Khaliq. Of course, he can create and recreate, and however many times he wants to, he can recreate exactly the way he created it the first time. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers them by saying, I'll resurrect you, and then I'll put that soul back into your body, and then you will have to go through the day of judgment, and after which your fate will be decided if you're going in hell or heaven. And if you're going in hell, would you be staying there forever, or you are those who will spend some time because you were a believer but a sinner, you'll spend some time in the hell and will eventually go in the Jannah. So there are a lot of details. I'm just summarizing them over here.